May I interrupt you and ask a question?
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
what
yeah,
people do
surely.
when they're debating. Okay, my
Yes.
question is, if would you rather become extremely fluent in English? Would you like to speak like a like a native English speaker, knowing all the words, or would you rather become a no fluent speaker in all the Indian languages? And you have to be honest. Mr. Suman, am I audible and visible?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Yes, ma'am, I have been doing well. Thank you for asking. How is your day going so far?
Amazing. It's okay. I'm a little under the weather, but it's fine, due to the weather. The weather is very chilly here. So I'm a little under the weather, but overall I'm doing great. What about you?
Yeah, ma'am, here weather is so freezing.
Oh,
So that's why I am also getting cold. So
oh,
now I put on jacket, you can see.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So if you do get a cold, what do you do? Like, do you rely on home remedies or do you consult a doctor? Do you take medicines?
Especially whenever I get cold, okay, from nature, so I try to have some home remedy from my home or some quack doctor who are not specialist in
What
doctor
is
field,
co-op doctor?
quack doctor who are assistant doctor. I mean to say,
Okay, got it,
um,
got it.
there are so many quack doctors
General
in
doctors,
my
yeah.
local area.
All right.
Okay. So they also sell medicine. So
Okay.
I would like to have this kind of medicine whenever I get ill.
All
Okay.
right.
After that, if I see no, I'm not recovering, so that after that I try to mm, talk with MBBS doctor or some
Consult.
other
Okay.
specialist doctor. Yes,
Then
ma'am.
you consult a specialist. All right. Okay, great. Okay, moving on to the topic that we have for today, Mrs. Sumit. Today we are talking about AI. No, today we are talking about the world of artificial intelligence. First of all, what do you think of AI? Like when you hear the word AI, what comes to your mind?
Artificial
Intelligence.
intelligence
Hmm.
is very evolving in our society.
Yeah.
So there are so many AI tools these days people are using.
Hmm.
After that, they are getting benefits.
Yeah.
They can easily save their time. Okay, whenever they use AI tools.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe AI is very popular in
Has
future.
become popular. Will become popular. Okay.
Yes,
Will
yes.
become. And it has become popular even now. It has become very popular, right? Even
Yes,
today.
ma'am. Yes.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes.
How
Ma'am, I
often
would
do
like
you? Yeah. Go ahead.
I would like to discuss with you Indian culture and Western culture. Which one better? So, could
So,
you
do you
discuss
want to
this
like?
topic?
Do you want to do this topic throughout the session?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can.
All right. Okay. Definitely. So we can talk about Indian culture and Western culture. So let's hear your opinions first. What do you think is better? Which culture is better? So which aspects of the culture are we talking about? The overall culture, or are we talking about the specific aspects?
Especially, I want to do debate with you.
You
Actually,
want to have a
you
debate?
can choose. Yes, yes.
Okay.
You can choose one topic, and I can choose one topic. Then we
All
can
right.
debate on that
Have a
topic.
debate.
Just
All
like
right.
news channel. So they call so many people, and after that they debate on that particular topic. So I want to do something.
All right.
Just like
Sure.
whatever they are doing.
Sure. Let's give it a try. Although we could have also done it with the AI part, but fine, let's do Indian. You can go ahead. You can pick.
Huh.
Pick which one do you want to pick? Do you
So
want to pick Indian culture?
okay, I would like to choose, yes, Indian culture.
I
How did
thought
you
so.
know?
I thought so because even I would have chosen Indian culture. I wouldn't have chosen, the Western culture. But sure, I will definitely have a debate. So go ahead, please
No, no,
put
no,
your
no. If
point.
you want, so you
No,
can
no,
choose
don't worry. I'll
Indian
man.
culture.
No, no. Even
Okay.
there are aspects of Western culture also that I enjoy. So definitely, we'll have a conversation. We'll have a debate on it. Go ahead. Put your first point forward.
So, according to me, Indian culture is very good culture
Hmm.
as compared to Western culture.
Okay.
So, Western culture is not good. Indian culture is good, according to me.
Okay,
So, what's your
better.
opinion?
Better. We don't say good. We would say according to me, Indian culture is better than Western culture. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So, no, first you have to talk about why you think Indian culture is better, and then I will give you an opinion
No,
about
no,
what
you
why.
can tell me. You can tell me. No, 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 no. I don't agree with you. Western culture is good. Indian
But you
culture
need
is
to put
not
a
good.
point first, right? But okay, fine. All right. So
Then
I
I'll.
All right. Let me go
Okay.
ahead. Right.
Yes,
I
you wanted to.
definitely, I have a different opinion here. So, in my opinion, Western culture is definitely a lot better than the Indian culture. And yeah, that's my point. Go ahead, put your point first, and then I will give
Actually,
you.
ma'am. Actually, ma'am.
Yeah.
Indian culture is very good because there are so many family. They
Okay.
try to stay with their parents. Okay, just like joint family. So
Hmm.
here is joint family. So everyone live each other.
Hmm.
Okay, but
Okay.
if you see Western culture, so
Yeah.
every Western people they want to live, in nuclear family. So that is not good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, Mr. Suman, my point here is that Western culture emphasizes personal, freedom, like an individual rights. What you said is fine, that the Indians often prefer having joint families, but Westerners often prefer being by themselves. But that shows their independence. That shows, that emphasizes having a personal freedom where they can pursue their own goals, where they can express themselves freely. But when it comes to being in a joint family, they don't have that freedom.
No, you can be liberty, you can be uh,
You can have liberty,
independent.
you can be liberal.
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, because there are so many girls
Hmm.
and boys, they are doing, work, and after that they live with their parents. So they have own freedom, they have own liberty, they have own um, what should I say, independent. Okay, so
And,
if they leave, so why not, uh, abroad countries people, they do not live with their parents.
but then we have the patriarchy system. Okay, so if you say that men should be living there with their parents, then why not women? Why do women have to move from their house and live with the man's family?
No, no, I wanted to tell you, who lives in abroad, so they like to stay alone with their
Yeah,
husband or with their
with their
wife.
wife,
Okay,
right?
uh,
Isn't that
but
better than having a patriarchal system where women are forced to live with the husband's family, to look after them, to bear children, to work outside, to work in house, to do all the chores, and then they are also forced to do everything, to manage everything. But men can just be in their own comfort zone with their parents. So isn't it better to have a house where both of them can, live separately with their parents and can have their individual freedom? Isn't that better?
I think, ma'am, joint family is good as compared to nuclear family. Even if I talked about culture, our Indian culture is very good as compared to Western culture because here is so many rituals, here is so many religion, here is so many language. Okay, every state has own language, own uh, culture. Even their food is different. Suppose I live in West Bengal, I like too much fish and curry. Okay, who lives in Gujarat? So our food is different. Who lives in uh, Haryana? So maybe they like too much सरसों की dal and makki ki roti. And who lives in South India? So they like idli and dosa.
Yeah.
Okay, who lives in North India, so
Hmm.
their food is different. So you
Hmm.
can see here is various kind of
Hmm.
culture and language. So we can learn new thing from our
Hmm.
culture, from our parents. But who lives in
Hmm.
western, who lives in abroad, so they are not getting this kind of benefits from their society, from their parents. Now tell me.
Yeah. Well, you said religion. We have religion, and that I would say is not actually something that is making us united. Religion is something that is dividing our country, that is dividing Indian culture. No, so in my opinion, religion is actually not beneficial. It has the opposite effect. Like what you're trying to convey is fine, but religion in India is dividing people. You would see
Yes.
every single day people having different sort of no having different protests against different religions. Is that apart from that? Yeah, food, definitely. Food is something that even I would say that Indian food is way better. However, languages can often cause barriers. When you talk about the Western culture, having a universal language helps. But country like India, where there are so many languages, it causes a barrier. For example, you can take the example of Karnataka, right? Bangalore. No? If if there was just one single language, there wouldn't have been any sort of a problem. But now we have the conflicts between North Indians and South Indians, right? If you're in Karnataka nowadays, you're being forced. If you're a North Indian, you're being forced to learn Kannada, right? Not
Yes.
everybody, but there are a certain set of people who are definitely forcing North Indians to learn the language if they're permanently migrating. Again, I'm not saying everybody, but there are certain people, we've all seen on social media. So I think this is not helping. This is
No,
actually
no, no.
having an
According to
adverse.
me, it is very helpful for young youth because there are so many people who are enthusiastic to learn so many languages. So that is help them because I am a Bengali, so I know Bengali, I know Hindi, I know English, even I know Odia. Okay, so you can see who knows in various kind of language, so they can get extra advantage from their their office or any other sites. Okay, suppose who lives in abroad, so they only know their regional language and their mm, national language. Okay, so they only know two language, but in eh, if I talked about India, so Indian people, uh, Indian, what should I say? Indian main uh, language is Hindi. Okay, rather than so many languages, so we can learn so many things. Even
I
if
have a
I talk
question. May I
about,
ask a question? May I interrupt you and ask a question?
yeah,
This is
yeah,
what
yeah,
people do
surely,
when they're debating. Okay, my
yes.
question is, if would you rather become very fluent in English? No, very fluent writing, speaking, very fluent, all the words. Or would you rather become fluent in all the Indian languages? You have to be honest here. Would you rather become extremely fluent in English? Would you like to speak like like a native English speaker, knowing all the words, or would you rather become a no fluent speaker in all the Indian languages? And you have to be honest.
Yes, I agree with you. I can understand what you are trying to say. So
What are
I
you going to
totally agree
choose?
with
I
you.
need an answer first. What will
I
you choose?
totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Even if I tell you, I know various kind of software, okay, which I use in my office.
You did
So
not answer the question though. You need to answer the question first.
yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. No,
No,
I
which one
told
would
you.
you choose? Would you choose to become fluent in English or would you choose to become fluent in all the Indian languages?
No, no. Obviously, I would choose become a fluent speaker. Okay,
In
I
English.
would choose become a English language
Yeah,
because
there you go.
yes, yes, ma'am. So, who knows, only one software, properly. So, he can be master in future. But I know so many software, but I don't have more knowledge regarding one particular software. So, it is true. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, ma'am,
Hmm.
uh, let's talk about our elder, I mean to
Elder.
say our parents.
Hmm.
So each and every parents are so calm and cool and they are so composed. But if you see, who are lives in abroad. So their parents, they always try to fight with their wife or their husband, even their son and their children also. So Indian parents are so cooperative as compared to um,
Not
Western
necessarily.
parents.
I'll be honest here. No, in fact, Indian parents are very nosy. They see, you might have experienced it yourself. Indian families or Desi families, especially. Again, I'm not talking about everybody, but most families would force their children or their sons into having, into like a different career. I have come across so many people who have a different passion but are pursuing something else just because of the pressure that they have from their own parents, especially their fathers. No, I myself have experienced it at my home. My brother wants to pursue UPSC, but he's doing a business. He's handling a business. Why? Because he does not have he's not getting the opportunity to go out and pursue UPSC or to pursue his dreams. So what you're saying is actually it's the opposite happening in India. And you said that they are cooperative, they are calm, composed. No, it's not really the case. Indian families can often be very toxic. No, you would
No, no,
see
no,
so
no. I
many.
don't agree with you because
But
you can see.
subjective, not every Indian family, but yeah, no, I would definitely say it from an experience that Indian families can often be very toxic. You would see so many children having childhood traumas, have taking therapy as a grown up because they had to see their mothers and fathers fighting over things. Because again, there's also arranged marriage to be blamed, because our parents mostly had arranged marriages. No, so
Yes,
they had to be in that marriage. Even if they did not want, they had to be in that marriage. So often you would see that some people, some couples wouldn't have that sort of love. No? Some would be, of course, very much in love, but then some don't have love. So they often end up having disputes, fighting, conflicts. But again, in the Western culture, there is also a drawback that divorce rates are very high.
yes. I was about to say. I was about to
So
say.
it's
You can see.
subjective. It's subjective, but in Indian families, they're forced to live together. No, they're forced to live together. I've seen so many women being
I
forced
think
to
they
live
have
with their
compulsion.
husbands. That so being forced to live with their husband because they don't have a job, they can't be independent. No, they don't have a choice. They have to be with their husbands. They can't do anything. But the things are changing for this generation. This generation, the women are more confident. They are more outspoken. They are getting jobs, so it will be easier for this generation. But the our mothers or our grandmothers, they were forced to be in that marriage, which is not the
Yes.
same when you talk about the Western culture, right? Yeah.
Ma'am,
Go ahead.
do you believe these days, especially in India or any countries, every girls um, should become independent
Financially, of course, very much,
financially?
very much, but in other aspects as well, not just financially. So I don't support. See, I can't cook, I can't make food, I can't cook, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. Just because you're financially independent does not mean that you should not know how to cook. You also have to learn how to cook because it's a basic life skill. So be it a man, be it a woman, you need to keep your house clean. It should be a responsibility of both. You need to know how to keep your house clean. You should be able to cook food for yourself and for people around you. So it's not about gender, it's about every single person. No,
Yes.
every single person, no matter what the gender, should be financially independent, should be emotionally independent, and should be able to cook food for themselves. So yeah, that's my
Okay.
opinion
So
here.
just you mentioned here emotionally independent. So I would like to know from you what is the meaning of emotionally independent? Could you
Not being dependent on
elaborate this?
others for every single thing, not being too dependent. Like, for example, if not being overly dependent on your parents for emotional support or your friends. So it often becomes difficult for being a girl, being a woman myself. I'm very emotionally dependent on my parents. So I think
Okay.
that, and I know that once I get married, it would be very difficult for me to adjust into a new home. And what I would say is the reason is that I've never lived away from them. They never permitted me to go outside and explore the world. So I became overly dependent on them emotionally. And
So
Yeah.
So maybe after get married, you will also, independent.
Dependent on my husband.
Yeah, you will dependent on your husband. So
Dependent.
this is good for you, or this is not good for you? Could you tell me?
Definitely. See, being overly dependent is never good. Of course, you need a little bit of dependence. Be it your husband, be it you're always going to be a little dependent, but you should never be overly dependent on anybody. So, of course, if you have a good relationship, it's nice. But let's say that your friends betrayed you, then you should not be just crying over them and destroying. I've seen so many people, if they have gone through a heartbreak, they would start indulging into bad activities, consuming a lot of alcohol, or doing other activities, something that's bad for them. So I think being overly dependent is never good. no? You should
Yes,
know
no.
how to handle yourself, so you should be independent in that terms. Like, of course, I'm not asking you not to fall in love, but you should also be able to handle yourself, because the world out there is cruel. The world is
Yes.
very cruel.
So I would like to ask you two questions. Actually, if I talked
You need
about
to quick.
festival,
You need to be quick though.
if
Okay,
you
I want to
if
give
you
a
if you
feedback
talked
as
up,
well. Yeah.
ma'am, if you talked about festival,
Hmm.
so here is so many festival, just
Yeah.
like uh, Ganesh festival, okay, Diwali festival, and Holi festival, Eid festival, but in abroad countries, maybe they have only one and two festival.
Or not.
So
Again, depends
because
on what country you're talking about. If you talk about America, England, countries where the native language is English, of course there's Christmas, there is Thanksgiving, no, there is the 4th of July. So there are
Halloween day,
festivals. Halloween, yeah, there are. And at the end of the day, festival is something that, I mean, you can't really like have more festivals just because you want to. Of course, it's more of a cultural thing, but yeah, definitely India gets a point. There are many festivals that you can enjoy, so India definitely gets a point there. No,
yes, even you can see in India, lots of travel destination place. If you want to become a wanderlust, okay, so you
Wonderland.
can travel each and every nook and corner of India. Okay, so I have visited Darjeeling, I have visited Sundarban, Mayapur, uh, Shantiniketan. So there are so many places I have visited. Okay, so it was amazing place. In future, I would like to go in Kashmir. Okay,
To
Shimla,
Kashmir, not
Manali.
in to Kashmir.
Yeah, if I talked about, no, I would like to visit Kashmir, Shimla, Manali, Sikkim,
Hmm.
Kalimpong, okay, all these areas. But um, I cannot afford,
Of course.
abroad,
Hmm. Hmm.
abroad trip because
Hmm.
here
Hmm.
is so many, good travel destination place. So I can easily travel all this area, whatever area in India. But if you talked about abroad countries,
Hmm.
so maybe there have few travel destination place because India, from South India to North India and East India to Western India. So each and every nook and corner you can see travel destination place. So
Even. Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
uh, have you ever been to any Indian travel destination place just
Of
like
course.
Shimla, Manali?
Of course. So I have been to Karnataka quite. I've been to South India quite often. I've visited Chennai. I visited Bangalore, Ooty, Mysore. I have been to Hyderabad quite a few times.
Okay.
Vishakhapatnam quite a few times. I've been to Goa, no, Mumbai, Delhi. So I've visited a lot of places, and but you can't really travel these places as a solo traveler. No, I don't think India is safe for women, especially. It's not even safe when you're traveling with, like, I was traveling with my brother and I still felt unsafe at a lot of places, especially
Okay,
in
do you
Mumbai.
have brother?
Yeah, I have a younger brother. He is 1 year younger to me, but he's like very tall. So he looks like my older brother, but I do have a younger brother. Yeah.
Okay, it means your parents have two kids,
Yeah, two. I'm the
you
older
and
one,
your.
my brother.
Oh,
Yeah. But I
okay.
but I come from a joint family. I live in a joint
Okay.
family. I my we have 11, no, we have 12 members in my family,
From
but
where are you come from?
I am from Tilda. It's a very small town. It's near Raipur. Raipur is the capital city of Chhattisgarh. But
Do
I
you
am
know
from a
Bhilai?
small town. Yeah, I mean, of course. It's not very far. So it would be like probably 120 kilometers or something from where I live.
So according to me, I think you know Dev sir, Devti
No.
Shah.
No, I don't
Okay,
visit
okay.
Bhilai often because I've studied in Raipur. So I've not visited Bhilai very often. I've been there a few times, but I've not visited there very often.
Actually, he is a soft skill trainer. Okay, so I
Oh,
thought maybe you
no, I don't
knew.
know. Okay, great.
Okay.
Mr. Suman, it was really interesting. But at the end of the day, I'm with the Indian culture. I'm an Indian. I love my India and I love the
Yes,
Indian
I am
culture.
also Indian. Actually, for only for debate, I have chosen this part, and you have chosen Western culture, and I have
But
chosen
but
Indian
no,
culture.
I also what I said also had a little bit of truth to it. In for
Yes,
some,
yes, yes,
in certain aspects, I would give a point to the Western culture, but mostly. But if you gave me a choice, I would still stick with the Indian culture and not the
yes.
Western culture.
Actually, only for topic,
Only for
we
the
were
sake of
fighting with each
debate.
other on the debate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
On the
Great.
debate or in the debate, which one correct?
Could you repeat the sentence? Of both have
Uh,
different meanings.
Only for debate,
For the
I
sake
was,
of debate. Only for the sake of debate. Only
yeah,
for the sake of debate. Of
only for only for a sake of debate.
debate. Yeah.